The man who stands beside me right now is patient 705. The most combat-trained veteran in professional wrestling history. Now, the story I'm about to tell you is a story of horror. It's a story of dread, a story of torture, and if you look into the things that I'm talking about today, they are 100% true. Now, I'm going to take myself a seat right next to the restrained patient 705. Let us begin where the story begins, shall we? Patient 705 was your ordinary child, just like anyone else. Just like once upon a time, our government wasn't totally corrupt. And neither was the United States military. You see, there was a man who would adopt patient 705 and assist him at the age of 10 years old. This man was supposed to be his caregiver. This man was supposed to look after him and be a father to this man, but instead he ended up being way worse than a monster. Way worse than anyone you could ever perceive him as. This man was Dr. Jorgen Van Hansen. Now, Dr. Jorgen Van Hansen was a scientist in the United States military. He was the proprietor of the MK Ultra experiments. For those of you who have heard of it, it is a mind control experiment made by the United States military. Again, look it up, it will be true. Where they would take patients and they would subject them to either torture or drugs in order to create a separate personality that would be ready for combat. Now, Dr. Jorgen Van Hansen was a psychopath. He believed that if you took a child and performed these acts on a child all at once, you could create the ultimate killing machine, an entire army of monsters. Well, that's exactly what was done to my poor patient.
You mentioned that he had a sister. He has a sister. Have you ever met her?
I have not. Records of her disappear directly after her adoption. Her name was Serena, and that's as much as we know. She was about 2 years older than 5 and acted like a mother to them inside of the adoption office.
Why is he such an angry man?
Suppose not, because this man was put through torture. He was given drugs, LSD, at a very young age, and they created that other personality. They created the ultimate killing machine, the ultimate combat experiment, but they could never turn him off. And so Dr. Jorgen Van Hansen deemed him a failure. They deemed him a failure, and they stuck him in an institution never to be heard of again. Stuck him in solitary confinement.
What was his time like in the asylum while you were there? What exactly went down?
I'm getting there. Now then, my story of patient 705 begins with simple curiosity. Some years ago, I looked into MK Ultra and it was horrible. It was done. I understand. No me. Once these experiments were done to patient 705, and he was deemed a failure because he couldn't be turned off. Because that's the thing with MK Ultra, you'll be able to snap your fingers and they turn off, go back to their lives the way they were before. But whatever he was before those experiments were done to him, that's long gone now, and all that's left is the man that they left. But I found him. I alone nurtured him back into society. And it is our goal, it is our purpose of the revolution to bring the people who are responsible for his torture and upbringing, the true masterminds of evil and chaos in this world, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. You can go ahead and name the Trudeaus and the Harpers in there, because they're all puppets for the same master, and that master is one word, and that is evil.
Patient 705. I mean, he has a heart?
Oh yeah. He has a heart. He has a heart of gold. He has a heart of gold that was ripped. Would you find this funny? Would you find it funny if your child or yourself, when you were a child, would be taken away from the place that you were living and subjected to torture for years on end? This is not a thing that didn't happen. This is a real thing that happened due to our government.
Why you brought Patient 705 here was to meet with the fans and to...
My purpose to bring him here before you today is to tell his story, to bring some humanity to the story that has been told to you all. And you've been told that he is a monster by Sean Gibson. You've been told that he is a damaged individual who wants nothing more than torture and maim. While this is true, this is only true because of what was done to him, and no more and no less. He's still a child at heart, hurting and yearning for nurture and care.
Serena.
Yes, we'll look for her. I promise I haven't given up. I haven't given up. Now, I found Patient 705 in the files of Dr. Gordy Bennett. And once I did, I worked by the magic, as it were. I used what conspiracy strings I had in order to put myself in the position I was. I made myself seem a little more on edge and crazier than I seemed to be. And everything fell directly into place when Sean Gibson had me institutionalized. Well, I had made sure that at that point that my cell was right next to Patient 705, where I knew for a fact there had been a hole drilled in there not too long before, for me to be able to communicate my message of truth and reality and bring the monster away and bring back the man.
I guess on that note, I know that you wanted fans to also be here to be able to take pictures with Mr. Patient 705. Is that something you'd
Yes,
like to
as a
invest?
goodwill nature to everyone who has come here today and paid their good, hard-earned money that is stolen from you by the government on a yearly basis through taxation.
So you're not taking any of that?
What?
You're not taking any of my money?
Nope. The only money I'm getting paid, today is the money being paid to me by Mr. Sean Gibson for my work here today as a manager. That's all. Now, you have something to ask? Go ahead.
I want to say it is beautiful how you saved me from all the torture, and it's amazing how you continue to help support him.
Well, it's a work in progress. He's currently residing at the abandoned Barrie Penitentiary. He chose the place himself. He saw the building was abandoned as we were driving around one day, and he motioned towards that building, and we went on inside, and he fell in love with the place, quite frankly. I go there, I drop him off, I lock up the doors, and when I come back, I find rat carcasses, and I haul him up, and we take him out here. He loved professional wrestling as a child, as an 8-year-old boy, before he was taken. You know, he was a big fan of wrestling, and so I decided that it was best for him to be in an environment he was familiar with before the incident took place.
That is a beautiful thing that you've done.
Thank you.
Before we get to the pictures, anybody else have any more questions for Jays?
Yes, please.
Patient
Any questions?
Anybody? Seems like a little bit of nervous tension in the room. I don't know.
I understand. This can be an unsettling predicament to be put in next to a man who's been this tortured. But I assure you, he's 100% safe. Yes, you.
What is the next step for someone?
The next step for patient 705 is more. He wants more out of life in general. First of all, he wants to eventually be rehabilitated into society just like anybody else. And he wants to inflict more harm upon those who he deems as those who harmed him. Now, that seems clear to you and me that just anybody couldn't have done this to him, but he sees kind of everybody as the enemy. It's been my careful guidance of him that's brought him to a place where he can stand here next to me today and me to be able to tell you the story and him to remain restrained, quite frankly. Yes, please.
I'm, for one, a huge fan of Patient 705. Like, when he first came in, I was excited.
Don't be his fan, be his friend.
I want to be his friend. Like, I really hope somehow, some way, you find the people who tortured him and their
Well,
stops?
a bit of an update on that. Dr. Jorgen Van Hensen, first weekend that patient 705 was released due to a clerical error, seems to have gone missing. Some people have pointed fingers at my friend, patient 705. Now I say those people are conspiracy theorists and should be looked upon with distaste because I, for one, believe that Dr. Jorgen Van Hensen heard about his monster being released and he fled the country in order to coward. Exactly. That's what I personally think. Yes. Any more questions?
If you do find his sister, would you consider signing her up for wrestling as well?
Well,
If she was
any possibility will be met as we meet it. For all we know, she could, or perhaps she is living a life of her own where she doesn't want to be in a business like this. But I will leave open that possibility, yes. If we will try to make her as much a part of patient 705's life as she will be. Yes.
I have a challenge for you and for him. If John Green wins the belt, I challenge you to get him to fight John Lee for the belt.
Well,
And I'll start cheering for him if he gets the belt.
if it were up to me, he'd be in that title match right now. He's ready. He's been combat trained for many a
Well,
year.
and if John Green wins it, come out and challenge him.
You know what? I'm not going to say, never say never. Now, unfortunately, those situations are out of my hand. I can't just willy-nilly have him go into a title match right off the bat as much as I love him. Because, yes,
Well, then everyone
you
starts
take the
cheering
title
for
and
him, he
then
has
you
the
never
belt.
let it go. He has a thing with gold. He's a bit obsessed with it.
Okay, then my God.
Yes.
I really hope you find his sister soon, so you can put a smile on his face.
Likewise, I don't believe he smiled in over 10 years.
If you find his sister,
I've never seen him smile. Never in my life.
I've never seen him without his mask on.
So I've never seen him frown either.
There's
I haven't seen him frown either, so we can't see either way.
there's no emotion. The emotion is hurt. There's pain and suffering, and
Correct.
it's wrong.
That's right. That's right. Yes. You.
I appreciate the motivation. I do. I'm behind it. Where does Justin Sane fit into this picture? That's
Very good question. Justin Sane is the forerunner of the revolution right now. He's our champion. He's our gold holder. Now, as he came into the fold, he was already holding that gold. And he decided to join the revolution because he saw the kind of things that happened to Patient 705. He saw the kind of things that were happening to our government today. I mean, just look at the North Dakota pipeline. Just look at the tar sands. And you've got Justin Trudeau sitting on his thumbs, not doing anything about the situation that's being done. I mean, he claims to love gay people, but then sells
Now, with that said, I know that you not only to defend Jay's case, but you have patient 705 with Justin Sane. I'm sure, like you're going to allude to tonight, we have a new member.
Yes, that's exactly where I was alluding to. There are more members who are seeing our way. There are more people who, through the motivation of what we've done so far and through the truth that we've been spreading, are starting to catch on. Now, when I thought this newest member, I didn't go to him to speak to me. Now, both Patient 705 and Justin Sane, I had to go find them and get them to join my side. This man who you will see tonight, yes, it is a man, spoiler alert, he will be in contest tonight. He's been challenged by D-Man, and even before that, we just wanted to come out tonight and to announce that he is joining our side, the side of truth, the side of true justice, the side of the revolution.
Now, I don't know how long the, I guess, controlled state of patient 705 is going to kick in, so guys, I think we should get to the pictures as quickly